What's poppin', y'all? Aiden Ross has been on a roll because everybody's trying to hop on his fight card right now. And the next person on the list that even made a call-out video is 1090 Jake.
1090 Jake, man, I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, I like me to beat the shit out of any rapper I've exposed. Now, I was watching the Aiden Ross fights last night and I felt motivated, compelled, right? I always want to give the people what they want, even if they're not my people. And plenty of people have always wanted to see me get into it with whatever rapper I spoke on. And I have a long list of rappers that have ended up on my channel in ways that they didn't appreciate, right? And some of y'all swear that these dudes are the toughest dudes. They've been to jail, prison, the streets, whatever. Perfect. Show me. Because as much as y'all try to downplay me, I really did a lot of the shit these rappers talk about. So for this video, I'm gonna go through the list of rappers I've exposed until we find a suitable opponent.
So the list of people that 1090 Jake has called out is a long list. I mean, you got to do the whole, the SpongeBob episode where he just opens up that scroll and it just flies down and it seems like, is that a SpongeBob episode? I think so. Where it flies down and there's 1,000 names on it. Yeah, that's 1090 Jake's list of people that he exposed. Honestly, 1090 Jake normalized telling in hip hop, because he exposed so many people that told, and then Whack 100 was a part of it too, but he exposed so many people that people were eventually just like, all right, I guess everybody told. It is what it is. And it's just not a problem anymore, except for people like Dirk, who actually still take it seriously. And maybe Boosie, I don't really know. But Finesse 2 Times was one of the people on the list that was called out by 1090 Jake. And Finesse 2 Times has been unhappy with his music career and how he feels he was treated in the industry. And he's been doing some streaming stuff too. I mean, even when you take a look at Finesse 2 Times, he's got 822,000 monthly listeners, and he's saying that he got screwed in his deal. So we're guessing that he didn't really get much from the current streams or the previous streams that he had. So he's been streaming himself, not music streaming. He's been live streaming. We've seen him break down crying. We've seen him do a bunch of interviews, but he responds to 1090 Jake's call out.
I'm at 1090 Jake trying to box me. Talking about 1090 Jake trying to box me, bro. Man, that white boy 6'9", man. That white boy 7 feet, man. I ain't got nothing but some hollow points for that white boy, man. Man, that can probably haul, motherfucking Nissans and Maximas and shit, man. You think I'm finna fight a white boy that motherfucking big? Man, I ain't got nothing but some 5'5". Man, tell Jake 29, what is his name? Tell 1090 Jake, man, he can fight these motherfucking 5'5", 6s when I see him. Tell Jake 20, tell 1090 Jake, he can fight for his life when I catch his fight that. You're talking about, you 6'7", 6'8", I'm 5'9", you talking about fighting me. I ain't got nothing but some 5'5", 6s for you. Yeah, what you thought you were finna get off? Fight this G-Flex. Fight this genius. Get what? I'd have caught you sitting down playing poker. I'd have put me about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I appreciate the gills. Hey, I would have put me about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 locks in a sock. And I would have dropped that motherfucker in an extra sock just so it won't go through that one sock. I would have tied that motherfucker up real tight. And I'm gonna make one for y'all too, chat. I would have tied them locks in that sock real tight. Let me show you what else I would have did for extra security. I would have took an extra sock and wrapped it around my wrist and tied an extra knot in it. Just so, cause you big as hell, so if that first lick don't, if I don't cludge you out with that first, and so that bit won't fall, you might try to grab for it, reach it, snatch it. This bit melted around my wrist.
First off, I'm a bit in shock. Is this guy on TikTok? What platform is he on that we're hearing these bejeweled sound effects? It's like I'm hearing all these bejeweled sound effects like this guy's playing Candy Crush or something like that. Are we in an old folks home? You know, that's the crazy thing. They used to play bingo. The new old folks aren't going to be playing bingo. They're going to be playing some version of Candy Crush V56 that company is still putting out, or maybe even Angry Birds. Angry Birds was more of the kiddish one. It's the old women that were playing Candy Crush and Bejeweled. But first off, he's talking about like, yo, he says that he's 5'9". That is Finesse 2 times. And he's saying, oh, 1090 Jake is like 6'8". 1090 Jake is not that tall, man. Well, not 6'8" tall. Because there's two photos. There's a photo of Adam 22 and 1090 Jake. And there's a photo of 1090 Jake and Vlad. Now, the perspective is a little bit off. I don't think Vlad's standing up all the way straight, but Vlad is about 6'2". Adam 22 is really tall, but Adam 22 is not above 6'4". And 1090 Jake is a couple of inches shorter than Adam 22. So 1090 Jake is 6'2" at the highest, maybe 6'1". Now, if they can get to the same weight class, that's like 6'1" and 5'9", we're gonna bring up something. We're not gonna let Finesse 2 times run out of this one. Dimitri Bivol is what height? Dimitri Bivol is like 6'1", 6'2", and he fought, or he's around 6'1", I think. He fought against Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez is like 5'8", because Canelo Alvarez was fighting damn near at the same height as, or same weight class. He's a 1.71 meters actually. So Canelo Alvarez is like 5'6" or 5'7". So Canelo was 5'7", fighting a 6 foot or 6'1" Dimitri Bivol at the same weight class. Finesse, and these are trained fighters at the top of their sport. So Canelo making that jump is a lot more serious than untrained people like Finesse 2 times and 1090 Jake. Sure, you could talk about like all the jail fights you want, but we saw Crip Mac get into it with Dean the Great. You could say that was a skip. It's skittish, sure, but he gassed out very quickly. Like, this is not the same. When you throw those people, Ruga, we saw Ruga hop in the ring. Like, when these guys get in the ring, it's a completely different thing. This is boxing. It is not jail fighting or whatever else people want to call it. So there, I don't see the height difference being that big of a deal. This is a couple of inches. Training can make up for it. But Finesse 2 times, I think he was just ducking 1090 Jake. I don't think he wants to smoke with him. I think it would be an actual even matchup if they were able to train. But I don't think that Finesse 2 times has it in him to train. That's the thing. Like 1090 Jake, I think he's excited. I think he wants to lock. I think he wants a reason to get healthy and focus and train and do something hard that has a payout at the end of it. And it's good motion for him too. So I think he's really motivated to do this. I don't think Finesse 2 times wants. I think Finesse 2 times just wants to be funny, wants to be entertaining, wants to do some raps, wants to, smoke his weed, drink his lean, eat his food, and that's really it. But I may be proven wrong because Finesse 2 times, he ducked the fight with 1090 Jake and he decided to call out 2 other rappers.
Listen, y'all can stop trying to call me out for fights and shit. I said I want to fight 2 motherfuckers, Bag or Offset. And that's because I feel like they don't hit hard. So they got to show me that they can hit hard. If it ain't Bag or Offset, I don't want to fight you because I ain't got no fight for you. I got legs. You know what I'm saying? Gotta look like fighting a white boy lift motors for $100,000. Give me $500,000. I get in there and on a NATO with Arnold Schwarzenegger for $500,000 right about now. I have a ticket to do me just right. Yeah, $500,000.
Okay, so I do think that it is fair for him to call out. I don't think he knows this, but I do think it's fair for him to call out Moneybagg Yo because Moneybagg Yo is the guy that signed Finesse 2 times. They did a bunch of music together. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out for Finesse 2 times because I think it was Bread Gang. Is that the one that, what's his name, signed him to? That Moneybagg Yo signed him to? I think it was Moneybagg Yo that signed him. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I believe it was Moneybagg Yo. So he's got issues with Moneybagg Yo. But this is the situation here. A Moneybagg Yo is the same thing as a Lil Baby. Yes, he is less popular. I would say a couple of years ago, Moneybagg Yo was up there with Lil Baby with how many hits he was dropping that year. I think this might have been 2022. Was it 2022, 2023? Moneybagg Yo was in his bag. Moneybagg Yo is making too much money to hop in a ring. He's not hopping in a ring. It doesn't make sense for him to train, for him to risk losing, risk his reputation, all of these other things to fight Finesse 2 times for anything under than $3, $4, maybe $5 million. And they're not going to pay $3, $4, $5 million to get a Moneybagg Yo because I think they were willing to pay several million, maybe $5 million for Lil Baby, and he's asking for $30 million, which I thought the 30 million made sense for Lil Baby to request that. But this is like, some people say 30 million, of course they're not going to pay that. Yeah, that's the point. That's why it can't happen, because it doesn't make sense for the promotion to pay that much, but it doesn't make sense for Lil Baby to risk anything for less than that. Then you've got Offset. Offset falls into the same situation where Offset is, let's be real here. Offset might be, we just need to wait for him to get into bad enough gambling debt maybe for him to hop in the ring, pay off some debtor, some loan shark from the mafia or something like that, because he's not hopping in the ring right now. Offset, he's still getting bookings. He's still doing shows. He's not struggling in that regard, as we've seen yet. If a divorce happens, he's for sure going to be the one getting some alimony pay out of the situation and not having to pay child support. But I think the call out makes sense. And if Finesse 2 Times were smart, he would keep pressing the issue with Offset. Because let me just give you guys a little bit of a refresher. Offset was married to Cardi B. Finesse 2 Times, he has this situation with his girls or his baby mamas. So Finesse 2 Times has came out and said that he would take his girlfriend at the time, and have her get ran through for some paper, right? Like, he was basically a pimp, kind of a pimp and his bottom B. He would have her getting smashed, and he also had like multiple chicks at one time. I don't know if that's still the thing that he's doing right now. I think it was multiple baby mamas too. So he has this history of unconventional relationships. And he went off on the situation back in November of last year that was going on with Cardi B when she was hanging out with Offset.
Let them go be with Javante Davis. Let them go. What buddy name on hit everybody? I was saying bitch, man. Man, what's that name who everybody, man? I don't know the name, man. Handsome, man. He got braids, man. I hated the nigga on my well, I wouldn't hate it because it would be a headache, but I'd be bitch. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man.
So Offset would respond to this. And on his IG story, he would say, keep naming me. Stand on it too. All you put. What I look like beefing with a BBL. Ain't finessed-ish, but a BBL. Sweet-ass dude. Get in the gym. He was talking to Finesse 2 Times at this point. And then Finesse 2 Times would be on a stream in January and talk about Offset again.
What the rap you don't like?
I don't like a lot of rap.
You don't? Now I'm trying to figure out, like...
I don't like... That's why I can't... That's why I'm here. I'm sick of the rap shit. It's different. They ain't gonna punch.
We need you with Offset in here. I see you mentioned Offset.
Punch the f*** out of Offset.
No, you won't. Stop.
I punch the f*** out of Offset to the floor.
What?
I punch him to the floor. I punch Offset. I've been waiting to catch him. I've been waiting to catch him in a casino. I'm gonna beat him off the machine. I'm gonna beat him off the crap table.
Wait, what happened?
I'm gonna beat him off the mother blackjack table. He did that. He did too much of that. So now you gotta see me in some kind of way.
We DM'd you or something?
Yeah.
What you say?
Some gang. And now you gotta do some tough that you can't come back from. Like how he feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, what? What just happened? What just happened? Nah.
Yo.
How you feel about him?
Nah, you ain't smashed Cardi though.
Nah, he was mad about him.
Oh,
He felt I said something about Stephon Diggs.
Oh.
Got mad at me.
Oh, nah.
And he felt, and Ben, what's up?
That's a Memphis right here.
So apparently something happened between them and the DMs. Offset was probably talking about like, yo, let's get into it. And we have seen Offset get busy. I mean, early in their career, Offset was just jumping in, throwing hands with fans, fighting and all that. And I do think he's gotten it together since then. He's just developed an alleged gambling addiction. But Finesse 2 Times, let's be real here. The people that mess with his music, they mess with his music. He's a club showing up rapper. So him getting popping on social media, especially when he's got music already, it's just going to add to his club hostings, which is good for him, which is a good bag that he can pick up, especially down in the South. That's like club city. I mean, all these small clubs, people be picking up bags there. That's what Rich Homie Quan was doing for a lot of the time that people thought he had fell off, which he did objectively fall off. But as we're seeing with the beef that happened between YSL and P-Nut, who was the guy that managed Rich Homie Quan got blackballed. That was the situation. So unfortunately, that's the case with that. But Finesse 2 Times, he should not stop talking about Offset. He should be roasting Offset every day. People should be clipping it every day. He should have other people reacting to it. He should hop on a call with Aiden and say, yo, Aiden, what's up? I'm trying to throw hands with Offset. Because even before 1090 Jake made this call out and people are trying to get Finesse 2 Times into it. Finesse 2 Times in January was talking about throwing hands with Offset. So he was saying that he was willing to do it outside of the ring too. So if they're able to facilitate something like that, Finesse 2 Times would get a lot of social media clout if he's down to do it. And Aiden Ross is like, okay, let's get Offset on the phone. And Offset pulls a little baby and he's like, nah, I can't do that. That's the best outcome for Finesse 2 Times. And it's a win-win situation for him because even if they do, let's not entertain ourselves. Offset is not getting in a brand risk promotions boxing ring. I do not see it happening. I think he would go broke before that happens. Well, you can't really go broke if you're an Offset. You just gotta go to jail for a couple of years and then your royalties will go up when your expenses have dropped down to zero. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but that's why it's such a great move for Finesse 2 Times. I would like to see 1090 Jake get in there too. See, there's a lot of rappers. I think he would have to do it with a rapper that the most difficult part for 1090 Jake would be getting a rapper that's his weight and size. That's really hard because the best candidates would be rappers that have kind of fallen off because Boston Richie, I think he's still doing his thing. Is Boston Richie locked up right now? I don't know that situation. But yeah, I would like to see 1090 Jake in there because I don't think 1090 Jake has any beef with like social media people. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you on the next one.